you cannot control your own mind, because your own mind is the only thing you can control, this is extremely important. Let me make this point. You can't control the weather. Right. You can't control other people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. Then you are just a feather in the wind of life, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place.
Is that like human beings, naturally, we don't care about things until it's gone? Like, we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. Why is that? Why do you think that? And do you feel that way?
That's a mental trick. You have to rewire your brain. And the reason your brain needs to be rewired is because anyone who is watching this stream below the age of 30, your brain is already broken. You have to get up and do it. Just like a video game, you start with fucking zero. You have to decide if you want to complete it. You have to upgrade your character. So I find it amazing that men are going to play video games and fuck about and waste their time instead of upgrading their character. Everyone knows what to do. You know what you have to do.
You're right.
If you had to become the most dangerous, intelligent, respectable man on the planet, you know you're supposed to go to the gym. You know you're supposed to train, learn how to fight. You know all these things. You don't do them. That's your decision. It's your prerogative. I didn't make that choice. I made the choice to do it all. I decided all of that. And every single man watching this can do the exact same thing. Can you always be more professional? Yes, I can always be more professional. I could memorize the number plate of every single car behind me every single time I drive a car to make sure I'm not being followed. You have to understand, I'm rich because of a bunch of things that money cannot buy. Like, I know there's people with lots of money, but they don't have the network I have. They don't have the brotherhood I have. Just sitting with my boys, knowing that if the bullets start flying, me and my 10 friends, we all die, or no one dies. Having that brotherhood, having women who would literally, you could go to jail for 10 years and they would wait for you. They exist for you and only you, completely and utterly. You are their entire universe. Like having physicality, walking through the world bigger and stronger than everyone else, having all those professional fights, and all the bad things, having the trauma, all the pain, all the bullshit I've been through. So we're going to talk about charisma overall. Charisma is basically likability. The ability to make people feel good, to care, to be in your presence, to want to be around you, and to want to engage in conversation with you. How you have charisma, firstly, are some basics. One of the most basic things is honor. You must do what's right because it is your duty, and for that alone. Not because you benefit from it, not because you gain from it, because it is your duty. Mm-hmm. Tristan and I do many things to our detriment, like talk on the internet. We don't need money. We don't need to help you. We don't need to save your life, to our detriment, but we believe it's our duty to educate people because we understand we have a massive platform and a lot of young boys are looking up to us, and there's a lot we can teach.
And also, your word is your duty. I have said I'm not going to quit. I have said I'm going to keep talking. If I say something, I do it. So your word immediately becomes your duty. Never break your word and never go back on what you said.
Absolutely. Honoring your word is part of honor as a whole. That's the whole point of honoring your word. You have to know how to be reliable, dependable, and loyal. And most importantly, you can never stab anybody in the back. You can never be a snake because, one, I swear if you betray somebody and you're a snake, it's like a stench which follows you for the rest of your human years. Anybody who does business with me, and I've done business for 20, 30, 40 million dollars, will do it on a handshake. They don't care about the contract because Andrew Tate shook their hand, and they can smell on me that I am not the kind of man who's going to snake them over money because I've never done it. If I've ever snaked anyone over money, I would have some degree, my aura would change color and people would see it on me. You can't be a snake. You cannot stab people in the back. You can't do these things, especially in the masculine realm, because we have evolved to detect treachery. Please understand, the most disgusting thing in the masculine world is a traitor. We talk about it all the time because treachery cannot be protected against. It's from the people you trust, which means it's always going to be a critical hit. It's always going to be extremely dangerous to you. So if you don't have the ability to detect snakes, you're going to end up in trouble in life. And I think men have evolved to be able to detect snakes. So when you do snakish things, something follows you and people see it. Do not betray people. It is never worth it in the end.
All you can do today is to expel them absolutely and utterly from your life. You cannot expel them from the world anymore because we live in a civilized society, but you need to have absolutely zero interaction with anyone who's ever betrayed you, even for a little bit. If someone steals $100 from you once, it doesn't matter.
I would never say anything I don't mean. If I say to you, you better pay me or I'm going to fuck you up, and you don't pay me, now I've got to fuck you up, because otherwise you look like a dickhead. I mean, so the last thing I want to be either is a guy who talks shit, so I don't really give threats anyway, because sometimes Sometimes you might reevaluate a situation. Sometimes you might change your mind. Sometimes whatever. But once you're given a threat, you put an ultimatum on it. And you have two choices: either fulfill the ultimatum, or you lose, or the person loses respect for you. It's like a chick doesn't. I do this to chicks all the time. I say, "Shut up, or you're getting out." And she carries on talking, and you carry on arguing. Then she loses respect for you. If I say shut up or kicking you out, and she doesn't shut up, I've got to kick her out. Because I said it. I am very particular with my language because for a long period of my life, at least for the last 7 or 8 years, I've made a super conscious effort to A, not lie, and B, never say anything I don't do. If I say to you right now, I'm going to do 500 push-ups, I'm going to do them because I can't go to sleep knowing I'm a liar. I have to finish because I said I would. My word is my bond to myself. And this allowed me to motivate myself to no end when I was training. If I said to my brother, I'm running a marathon today, and he'd say to me, well, you said it now, so you have to do it. I said, oh, you're a pussy. It's like, exactly. That's why I didn't want to do it. But now I've said it, I have to do it because I don't want to be a pussy. I'm not a coward. So for a long time, I've only said things that I mean. So I'm very, very careful with my language. And that's one of the reasons I don't really give threats because, you know, a couple times I've given a threat and I followed through on it and I've fought back thinking I could have been more calm or I could have done that differently. But if I say, shut the fuck up or else, I got to follow through on my or else. That's who I am as a person. And also, man, you can get a reputation amongst your people. Like I've got to a point, there's people I can go up to and say, look, I need 100 grand. I can't tell you why, you'll have it tomorrow. They'll be like, yeah, no problem. Not because it's not much money to them. It's because they know who I am.
Wow, that's fucking incredible.
You
Like,
know, if I say you'll have it tomorrow, they know if I have to rob a bank to get it, I'll get it. That's who I am as a man. So, you know, because all you have to do is say something, and you can always find the energy to say something. But if you really believe your words and you refuse to give in on them, then you're going to follow it through. So if you say to yourself, you know what? I'm reading all this shit on Twitter about drop shipping. Will it make money? Will it not? I don't know. But you know what? This weekend, I'm going to start a dropshipping company. If you actually say it, and then you're like, okay, well, I've said it now, so I have to do it. Saturday comes around. Even if you don't want to do it, even if you're not in the mood, whatever. But because you found the motivation to previously say it, and you're not the kind of guy who lies to himself, you're not a coward. Like,
yeah.
I'm not full of shit. I mean what I said. By the end of play Saturday, you might have a dropshipping company, or you'll at least know more, or you'll at least look into it. You might be making $100 a day. Who knows? It might change your life. So all you have to do is find the motivation to say things. I say to Tristan, yeah, I'm going to go on that train. I'm going to train 5 hours. If I said it, that was it. I had to do it because I couldn't live with myself knowing I was one of them bullshitters. My words are absolutely sacred, especially to myself. And that's why I'm very careful with what I say because, like I said, if I threaten someone, even if I don't want to do it anymore, I have to do it because I won't lie to myself. I won't betray myself. And that allows you to start thinking a lot more carefully about what you say.
Yes.
Carefully about what you say, you get a lot more direction and clarification on which direction your life is going. And it's just fulfilling your own word, man. I said I was going to be world champion over and over and over again. I was nervous to lose, not because I was nervous to get knocked out. I was nervous I would look like a liar. I told everyone I was going to win.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's how I was. I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this.